What is going on, guys? 54Nightmare here, and here with probably one of my first info videos now. In this one, I will be talking about a possible gaming console produced by and made by Apple. Now, it's been kind of speculated what Apple will move on to now because they've done the iPhone, the iPod Touch, iPad, the Mac, Apple TV, and a lot of people have been thinking, like, what could they go on next? And there's been quite a few rumours on the internet going around about a possible Apple console, which might be out in the near future. We honestly don't really know much about this, but since Steve Jobs, died back in October, I think, or November. Was it November? Oh, I honestly cannot think now. People have been thinking, what are they going to go on to next? There's also a few people saying that they might even go bankrupt because, they've kind of exhausted all the, the resources, I suppose, because they can't really go, they can't really make the iPhone much better for now. They can't really make the iPod Touch that much better. iPad as well. So they haven't really got that many paths to go down. I suppose the Apple TV, even though they've actually pardon me, even though they've already made an Apple TV, but it sort of just streams it. So that a possible actual Apple TV, could be something they could work on. But quite a few people are now saying that Apple are actually working on a new console. So it is kind of surprising in a way that Apple are doing this now. There's already three companies out there who will be producing consoles: Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Now, if Apple go into it, then that's four. And then there's also rumours about Valve going into it with the Steambox. So if they go into it, then hell, there's going to be a lot of different consoles out there. It's going to be like 5 or something, like the Wii U, 720, PS4 Orbis, possible Steambox, and I don't know, iPlay by the Apple, I don't know. But I suppose you can kind of guess with the Apple, the I, be for all the products like iPod, iPhone, iPad, etc. And that's something they could quite easily go down with. Now, personally, I kind of think they're gonna do quite good, because if you look at their laptops, they don't exactly sell cheap laptops. I think the cheapest is probably about 450, 500 quid, which is like the Mac. But even that's quite a few years old, I think. I'm not an expert here. But if you look at like the iMac, which is a proper computer, that can cost about over £1,000, £1,200. So I'm not expecting these consoles to be exactly what you would call cheap. So I think they will be top of the line consoles, which does kind of make sense, because if you look at the 720 and the PS4 and the Nintendo especially, they're not going down the hardcore gamer route with going, putting everything which is the latest and greatest into the consoles, which does kind of leave out the the hardcore gamers, you could say, who are really into playing games at the high settings, and making the experience while playing, I don't know, Crisis, whatever, Far Cry, making the experience pretty much lifelike. So it does kind of leave out quite a big gap if you think about it. Now, I don't really know what Valve, should I say, are gonna do with the Steambox. They could go with the, with massive, great, big graphics cards, GPUs, CPUs, and making it cost £1,000+. I don't really know what they're gonna do, but I'm kind of certain that Apple will probably do this because they aren't really the type of people who go, you know what? I think we should put it as a bit, maybe cheap, because if you look at the iPod Touch, it's still it's like what a year and a half old, and it's still 250 quid. So, well, 100. Well, it's kind of cheap, so it's 180 or something like that starting price, which is it's only 8 GB, which isn't really that much. So they aren't really cheap. So I'm not expecting them to be doing anything cheap as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what they're going to bring out, to the market, see what they're going to offer. And I'm sure they're going to sell quite a lot because Apple themselves have got quite a lot of fans, with the iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad, Mac, whatever. And then there's also like the people from PC who want all these great graphics, which I'm sure they'll love the Apple console, which is gonna come up. Now, I don't know if I would actually buy this. It depends. Well, it actually just purely depends on how much it costs. If it's too much, well, it's too much. I'll probably stick with the 720. But I think for me, it will probably be the 720 and possibly the Steam box. Probably because I've already got Steam on my laptop, so I'm quite used to it. And I really love Steam on my laptop because it's just so great. But what some people are actually saying, which is kind of weird, is that because Apple haven't developed their own actual TV, people are saying that the next Apple, well not next, Apple console, which is coming out soon, might be built into the TV or might actually kind of be the TV, if you know what I mean. They could, I don't know, Apple could make their own special TV to suit their console, which will only work with their console. I do not know. It would kind of make sense with Apple because they are quite awkward of like Flash and everything like that. So it wouldn't really surprise me if they did that. So I don't know if they would do that. It does seem kind of likely with Apple, but I I honestly don't know. So um people are actually saying that Microsoft and Sony and especially Nintendo are gonna lose